Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds.
Mohamed Salah was back on the scoresheet on Wednesday, netting twice to help Egypt secure their place in the 2026 World Cup with a 3-0 win over Djibouti. The forward now has an impressive tally of 6 goals and 3 assists from 13 appearances for both club and country this season. However, unfortunately for Liverpool, 3 of those goals were scored while on international duty. Despite being the standout player in the Premier League last season, winning both the Golden Boot and Playmaker awards, Salah hasn't quite hit the same form this campaign. The 33-year-old hasn't found the back of the net in his last 4 outings for the Reds and failed to register a goal contribution in Liverpool's consecutive losses to Crystal Palace, Galatasaray and Chelsea. After a particularly disappointing performance at Stamford Bridge, it's no surprise that he's facing increased scrutiny outside of Anfield. Salah at least responded perfectly when he joined up with his national team, scoring a well-taken brace in Egypt's latest outing. Not only did his goals ensure their qualification for the World Cup for only the 4th time in their history, but they also made him the all-time leading African goalscorer in qualification history. Back in familiar territory, the Egypt captain thrived, so it's perhaps worth noting the impact of the changes he's still adjusting to on Merseyside following a £450 million summer spending spree. The days when Salah would consistently see Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane to his left are long gone. Additionally, Trent Alexander-Arnold's summer move to Real Madrid has left Salah with a new first-choice right-back for the first time in his Liverpool career. However, the new first-choice option hasn't yet been established, with Jeremy Frimpong, Conor Bradley and Dominic Szoboszlai all having started in the position during Liverpool's first 11 matches of the season. Salah has been in the starting lineup for 9 out of his 10 appearances, with each of the trio starting 3 games each. However, Frimpong has been substituted before the hour mark in 2 of his games, while Bradley has also been taken off at half-time twice. Meanwhile, in one game, Szoboszlai was moved into midfield at the break. The constant rotation isn't helping Salah as he tries to build new relationships on the pitch after 8 years of stability alongside Alexander-Arnold. Each of the 3 right-backs brings different skills to the role and plays it in their own unique way. Liverpool's attack has been slightly more stable, but Salah still stands alongside new teammates he has to get used to in the front line. A front 3 of Salah, Hugo Ekitike and Cody Gakpo has been Slot's preferred choice for most of the season, starting together 6 times. However, despite a promising start, the Frenchman is also still settling in at Anfield. The same applies to both Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz following their hefty transfers to Merseyside. Salah has already acknowledged this situation, having grown accustomed to consistency in Liverpool's attacking setup throughout his Anfield stint. The Egyptian formed 1/3 of the Reds' unquestioned frontline trio alongside Firmino and Mane, yet still shared the pitch for several seasons with squad players like Divock Origi and Takumi Minamino. Similarly, the late Diogo Jota was a long-term colleague, as were Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez before their summer exits. During a recent chat with the Men in Blazers podcast, Salah acknowledged it will require patience to develop understanding with his fresh teammates, using Ekitike as a case in point. "So far, I didn't figure the connections out yet," Salah candidly confessed. "Like with Darwin or Lucho or the guys they used to play in front, or Diogo. I knew where to start with Diogo or Darwin, I know where to find them. I knew their game very well. But with Hugo, he's still new. Sometimes I need the ball in the field, sometimes we need it in the space." "It's really good," he responded. When quizzed by BBC Sport about playing alongside Salah, "Mo is a really cool guy. He is really open with me and is really good to talk to. He is great to play with. I was watching him on TV when he was scoring the goals and stuff. But he is a really great athlete. You can just improve yourself and learn from him. It is good to share the pitch with him, and I hope we are going to score lots of goals and bring some wins to the team together." He is very cool. More cool than what I have seen on TV, because sometimes you see straight face and stuff, so I thought he was cold. Someone who doesn't talk a lot. He is really open, like all of the guys here. They are really open and want me to adapt to the team. Liverpool haven't been firing on all cylinders this season, but they're fully aware of it. Slot's revamped side is still finding its feet. However, players like Salah and Ekitike are putting in the extra work off the pitch to ensure the Reds click into gear as soon as possible. Liverpool's £125 million star is ready to explode. Alexander Isak declares himself fit for 90 minutes and ready to lead both club and country. Alexander Isak has declared himself ready to play his first full 90 minutes since the final day of last season, as the striker continues to build up his match sharpness following his blockbuster switch to Liverpool. The Swede sealed a £125 million switch from Newcastle United on transfer deadline day, but he had suffered a disjointed pre-season with the Magpies while trying to engineer his departure for the Reds. Isak failed to feature for the club throughout their pre-season preparations or the opening weeks of the new Premier League campaign, training in isolation for most of the summer. Consequently, Isak hasn't completed a full 90 minutes since the final day of last season, when Newcastle fell 1-0 to Everton on May 25th. He made his playing comeback for Sweden during the previous international window, immediately joining up with his nation after sealing his transfer from St James Park to Anfield. Featuring for 18 minutes against Kosovo, he has since made 6 outings for Liverpool. Making 3 starts, he boasts a goal and an assist from his appearances thus far, with his total playing time for the Reds reaching 312 minutes. However, while Isak has yet to achieve peak physical fitness, he maintains he is prepared to take the next step in his conditioning programme. And after linking up with Sweden for the October international break, the forward has handed both club and country a boost ahead of Friday night's World Cup qualifier against Switzerland. "Tomorrow I'm ready for 90 minutes if needed," he said at a pre-match press conference. "It's been a month now. I've had a lot more playing time and things have calmed down. I feel in a much better position now than last time." Isak also confessed his desire to step up as a leader for Sweden, following a lacklustre September international break that saw them secure only a single point from their first 2 World Cup qualifiers. "Of course you have that feeling," he responded when questioned about his desire to play a pivotal role for his nation. "It automatically means you get a leading role. I'm starting to become one of the older ones. I want to be a leader and feel a responsibility, both on and off the field. There is pressure on us and high expectations, but that is common in football. We have the same ambitions as the Swedish people. Hopefully we can live up to the expectations. I hope that the people who are there believe in it and bring with them the positive energy that we will need to get that extra. It is important that we are all on the same track and help Sweden win." In addition, Isak shared his initial thoughts on the start of his Liverpool career. "Great so far," he expressed. "Great team in a city where the team has a good relationship with the fans. It's been okay so far." A decade ago, Liverpool announced the appointment of a manager who would have been among the favourites for any job in world football. But it was they who landed Jurgen Klopp, a man who would rewrite history at Anfield. On October 8, 2015, just days after sacking Brendan Rodgers, the Reds moved to appoint a manager who had dominated German football for a short period. His plucky Borussia Dortmund side were a perfect reflection of their manager, and, had it not been for some controversial decisions, could have been European champions. Klopp arrived at Liverpool, declaring himself the normal one. His initial 3-year deal included bonuses for a Premier League title and Champions League qualification. He would do far more than that before leaving in 2024. The German would do what the likes of Rodgers, Rafa Benitez and Kenny Dalglish couldn't do: win a Premier League. They did so in emphatic fashion in 2020 after going so close the year prior. Had it not been for a certain Pep Guardiola, those on Merseyside may well be arguing that their former manager was a match for Sir Alex Ferguson, given some of the point tallies and records he set. Klopp's charisma and personality captured, first Germany and then Europe, as his Dortmund side grew and grew. His philosophy was clear, and despite some bumps in the road, it was quickly evident that he was a truly elite manager. Klopp was only out of work for a matter of months before those at Anfield came calling. You get the impression they made a genuine effort to act before any of Europe's elite could, to ensure he was the man leading their charges. 10 years on from the announcement that Klopp was coming to England, eventually ending a top-flight drought that had seen Liverpool widely mocked, we take a look at some of the moments that defined his 9-year tenure. Man City 1-4, Liverpool, November 21st, 2015. Fans were after a bit of hope, something to hang their hat on and go, yes, we're going in the right direction. Well, it didn't take long, and the first truly statement performance of the Klopp era came at the Etihad Stadium. Liverpool arrived and were 3-0 up within 32 minutes. It was only their 5th league game under their new manager, but the principles he would instill were immediately evident, even if Klopp was working with a squad of players that needed a huge overhaul. Liverpool 3-0 Man City, April 4th, 2018. Less than 3 months earlier, and the Reds had downed Guardiola's side 4-3, having led 4-1 to end their record-setting, unbeaten run. Their win in the Champions League, though, was one of those there-coming moments as the Premier League leaders were torn apart. It was also one of 3 European campaigns that culminated with Klopp leading the Reds out in a Champions League final. Liverpool 4-0 Barcelona, May 7, 2019. It will go down in the book of great European nights at Anfield, and it truly was. Only Liverpool and their storied old stadium could make some believe that a 3-0 first-leg deficit could be overturned. Gini, Wijnaldum and Divock Origi both scored twice, with the goal that sealed the comeback from Trent Alexander-Arnold's corner, a picture many will never forget. Liverpool 2-0 Tottenham, June 1st, 2019. If 2018 was a near miss, losing to Real Madrid in the showpiece event, then the following year was the culmination of nearly 4 years of work. Klopp claimed Champions League glory before Premier League success. But the capture of a trophy was proof of his methods and gave the players the belief to kick on. Mo Salah and Liverpool had a day out as they humiliated Man at View 7 Images. Mo Salah and Liverpool had a day out as they humiliated Man at Image AFP via Getty Images. Man Utd 05, Liverpool, October 24th, 2021. All the trophies that had come before were season-long achievements, but as a one-off gift to the Red supporters, this may be at the top. Yes, the 7-0 win later in his tenure was iconic, but the fact Liverpool tore the Red Devils apart with such ease in their own backyard was a thing of beauty for anyone from the red half of Merseyside. Man City 2-2. Liverpool, April 10th, 2022. It was the second title race between the pair that A, saw them both accumulate more than 90 points, and B, go down to the final day. This thrilling draw came after they'd also shared the spoils by the same scoreline at Anfield. The rivalry with Guardiola's City has defined a period of Premier League history and produced the highest level of football we've ever seen. Sadio Mane. He was the first player who the German landed that you thought, yes, he's a Klopp player. He had excelled at Southampton, and his energy, pace and aggression put a number of top clubs on notice. He went to another level at Liverpool, and whilst he may not have got the headlines of Mo Salah, he helped get the ball rolling.